Good lord. Saturation! Hello, another video for Deadzone Escalation, and today we are talking about the mercenaries. Now, the mercenaries in the book are a lot different, well, a little bit different than you find in the main rule book. These in Escalation kind of replace them. You can still use them as mercenaries. The only ones you can't use as mercenaries is the tier 3s. What do I mean? Well, there are essentially 4 tiers of mercenaries. There's the tier 1s, the tier 1/2s, the tier 2s, and the tier 3s. The tier 1s are essentially your leaders, because you can make a faction of your own just using mercenaries. So tier 1 are just leaders. Tier 1/2s you can either use as specialists or leaders. Tier 2s are just specialists, and tier 3s are your troops. Tier 3s have all got generic stuff in. Oh, I say generic, there's still some pretty good stuff in there, but they've also got some really generic bog standard stuff. So yeah, the thing about the mercenaries, apart from the tier 3s, there's only one. Checking if there's there's only 2 models in this entire mercenary force that's not a living legend. Living legends, well, 2 in the tier 1, tier 2 or tier 1/2 slot. The tier 3s are not living legends either. Living legends basically means you can only take one of each. You can take multiple living legends, but you can only take one of each living legend. You can't give them items, you have to keep them as is, whatever they've got, whatever they do, that's it. No changing them whatsoever, unless altered by an ability, obviously. So let's begin. It's going to be a long one. Starting with the tier 1 mercenaries on page 31. There are 3 versions of Blaine, and they all kind of have this rule. In Intimidable Infamy, which essentially means you can only have 1 Blaine in your force. You can either have the Blaine in Peacekeeper armour, Blaine on Jetbike, or normal Blaine. So let's begin. Blaine in Peacekeeper armour, 50 points, 5 victory points. Move of 1-2, armour 3, size 2. It gets better. Shoot of 4, fight of 3, survive of 4. Tactician 2, tough frenzy 2. Shock Gauze firearm, range 5, AP 1, weight of fire 1. Electro Glaive, range F, AP 2, jump pack. Oh, and the leaders start on page 31, by the way. The tier 1 start on page 31, by the way. Electro Glaive, range F, AP 2, and he has jump pack. Recon 4+. Blaine on Jetbike then, 48 points, 2 victory points. Move of 1-5, arm 1, size 2. Shoot of 4, fight of 3, survive of 4. Tactician 2, tough, frenzy 1, vehicle, flight, evade. Pistol, range 3, wicked blades, range FAP 2. Recon 4+. Blaine, 40 points, 3 victory points. Move of 1-2, arm 1, size 1. Shoot of 4, fight of 3, survive of 4. Tactician 2, tough and frenzy 2. Pistol, range 3, and Raskin, punch blade, range FAP 2. Now, the thing about this is there's really only one choice in my mind. Blaine is a bit meh. He's alright, but he's just alright. He's just trying to be everything but can't be anything, to be honest. He's a bit blah. Blaine on Jetbike, you've got the speed, you've got the evasion and the flight, you've got the AP, well, all of them got AP, let's face it. Is a bit lackluster in shooting, I know, but everything else, you've got good stuff. Blaine in Peacekeeper armour is only 2 points more than Blaine on Jetbike. He is really good. You've got tough, you've got armour 3, survive on 4s, and your size 2. He is ridiculous. He's AP 2 in close combat, he's AP 1 with weight fire at range, he fights on 3s, he shoots on 4s. He's got Frenzy 2, so can reroll 2 dice. He's Tactician 2, Recon 4+. He's basically ridiculous. If I did a Recon mercenary force, I would always take Blaine in Peacekeeper armor because he's just amazing. Yes, it means he's a bullet magnet, but that means no one is shooting at anyone else. Lastly for the leaders is Captain Erika Dolinsky, 34 points, 3 victory points. Move 1-2, Arm 1, Size 1. Shooter 4, Fighter 5, Survivor 4, Tactician 2 and Strategist. Laser Assault Rifle, Range 6, Rapid Fire, Weight Fire 1, Recon 4+. She's alright, she's a sort of cheap leader. She's essentially a peacekeeper, enforcer captain with slightly better starting weaponry and without a jump pack. The reason there is no splats for any of these is there is 3 to choose from. Now, how they work is when you want to use one of your splats, you basically say, I'm using this one, or this one. And then you go ahead and use it. They're not all one use. You can use them multiple times. I'll explain them. So the first one is In It for the Money. Change an army special result on a command dice to a fight, shoot or move result. Pretty good. Having more fight, move or shoot dice is always really great. The best meds. Spend an army special result on a command dice to give a model resilient 2 until the end of the round. Which means if you take Blaine, you can make him really hard to kill. Or put it on someone like, I don't know, Rudgrad. It's still ridiculous. Back in the game, spend an armor special result on the command dice to remove an activation token from a tier 3 mercenary model previously activated this round. This model may activate as normal later in the round. You may only use this armor special result once per model per round. So this is a 1 use per round thing. It has its uses. I'm not gonna lie, it has its uses. Yes, you can only use it on the tier 3, but chances are your opponent will be shooting at the really good stuff to not really bother at the tier 3, so you'll probably be able to use this, I should imagine. Next we have the tier 1/2 mercenaries found on page 32. So firstly we have Elise. The tier 1/2s, as I've said, you can use them as leaders or specialists. First is Elise, 28 points, 3 victory points. Move 1-2, Armour 0, Size 1. Shooter 5, Fighter 5, Survivor 4, Tactician 1 and Psychic. Life Drain, Range 4, Psychic Life Drain. Tremor, Range 4, Psychic Stun. Mind Scour, Range 4, AP 1, Psychic. And Stun Baton, Range F, Stun. No AP on the Stun Baton. Recon 4+. She's pretty good. There are other Psychics out there, but I'll get on to how the Psychics work in a minute. Do you know what? I'll go through all the Psychic one. No, I won't. You could use her as a leader. The thing is with her, she's more of one of these characters that's she can slightly be a medic because of the life drain. She can be an offensive Psychic with the Mind Scour. She can stun people with the Tremor. She's not a good combatant, unfortunately. Yes, she survives on 4s, but that's it. I would use her as a specialist, really. I think she's about right on the points cost, to be honest. Next we have Alkaline, 26 points, 3 victory points. Move 1-2, Armour 2, Size 1. Shooter 5, Fighter 4, Survivor 5. Solid, Tough, Tactician 1. Concussive Blast, Range 3, Blast. Wrecker Fist, Range F, AP 1, Knockback. Recon 5+. I think it's pretty good. Armour 2 on a Size 1 model is really good, and tough and solid. Means he's not going to get knocked about. He's a fairly decent close combat character. He's alright for range, I suppose. You've only got blast, but it can pin someone potentially. He's not bad. He's not bad. Chief Redgrad then. 40 points, 4 victory points. Move 1-2, arm 1, size 3. Shooter 5, fighter 4, survivor 4. Solid, tough, tactician 1 and frenzy. Decapitator, range F AP 3 and twin blasters, range 4 AP 2, weight fire 1. Recon 4+. I always like Redgrad. He is expensive. He is one of the most expensive characters in the mercenary list. However, it makes sense because he fights really well. He shoots not bad. He survives really well. He's size 3, arm 1, tough and solid, which means he ain't going anywhere. He's got AP 3, which, yes, it's only range for 4, but AP 3 is gonna concern Striders and Iron Ancestors quite a lot. He's also AP in close combat, should I say? He's also AP 2 and weight fire 1, which can also worry Striders and Iron Ancestors because it lowers the armour a bit. Radgrad's always good, I think, but he's expensive. Next we have Hector Sanchez, 24 points, 3 victory points. Move 1-2, arm 1, size 1. Shoot, fight and survive of 5. Fire control and tactician 1. Auto stabilised grenade launcher, range 4, frag 3. Pistol, range 3. Smoke grenade, range 3, smoke 1 use. Recon 5+. There's not really much to say. There's better options for shooting fish for what you want. He's got smoke grenade and he's got grenade launcher, which is nice, but again, there's better options. Francesco the Devil Shavaggio, 25 points, 3 victory points. Move 1-2, arm 1, size 1. Shoot, fight and survive of 5. Tactician 1. Heavy flamer, range 3, AP 1, volatile, it burns. Propane bomb, grenade, it burns. Recon 4+. I can see people really looking over him, which is a shame because he's got a ranged grenade ranged flamethrower, and he's got a grenade that burns. I can see him being really useful, but especially against forces like GCPS where the survive rolls are not going to be high, he's really going to be useful. And against Plague, he has potential to run a big muck around. But because of his flamethrower and because his stats is average, I can see people overlooking him. Hund, Rebel Bounty Hunter, 32 points, 3 victory points. Move of 1-2, arm 1, size 1. Shooter 4, fighter 5, survivor 4, tactician 1 and fire control. Sniper rifle, range 8, sniper scope. Twin pistols, range 3, weight fire 1. Recon 5+. He is not bad. The fire control is a bit limited because you're going to have to be within range 3 to be able to use it. But he shoots on 4s and he's got a range 8 sniper rifle, which might seem a bit low range. But he's shooting on 5 dice, shooting on 4s, so I think he's pretty decent. Kira Nokolivsky, 24 points, 3 victory points. Move 1-2, arm 1, size 1. Shoot, fight and survive 5. You can see a pattern here, I think. Medic, tactician 1 and hacker. Sedative injector, range 2 stun. Sedative injector, range F stun. Adrenaline shot and stimulant shot. Recon 4+. Like Elise, she is she is more of a medic than Elise. Elise, you get a medic from the life drain, but you can also take Kiraki Aro as a tier 2 mercenary, and he is a proper medic as well as doing some psychic stuff. So she is good for a points cost and what she does. But again, like Francesco, I can see her being overlooked, unfortunately. Next we have Sergeant Urgak. I've butchered that name, but we'll carry on. 25 points, 3 victory points. Move 1-3, armour 2, size 1. Shoot and fighter 5, survivor 4. Fire control, tactician 1. DB laser rifle, range 6, rapid fire, weight fire 1. Auto blaster, range 2. And he has a jump pack, Recon 4+. He's alright. He's alright in move of 3, armour 2, he's got a jump pack. He's more there to fly around harassing people. Other than that, he's a bit middling. He's just a bit middling, I think. Next we have, well, finally for the tier 1/2s is Son Hin. 28 points, 3 victory points. Move of 2-3, arm 1, size 1. Shoot of 5, fight of 3, survive of 5. Companion. Which means he always counts as having another model in the same cube when there's a fight. So he's always fighting on 4 dice, at least. On 3s. Light Glaive, range F, AP 1, frenzy 1. Asterian Warbird, range 4, indirect 2. Recon 5+. He, Son Hin, I think, is a bit cheap. Reason being, you've got the Companion. The Asterian Warbird is indirect, which is a long action to do. But if you've got a move dice, you could... what you could do is... use a shoot dice to shoot the Asterian Warbird, and then use your long action to sprint in there, because chances are you will be in range if you're using this. So use the indirect to not damage but pin them and then just rush in there. I reckon he should be at least 32 points. I think he's a bit cheap, to be honest. Next we have the tier 2 mercenaries on page 34. These can only be specialists, not specialists and leaders, just specialists. Boomer, Hobgoblin Grenadier. 20 points, 2 victory points. Move 1-2, armour 0, size 1. Shoot of 5, fight of 6, survive of 6. Tough, engineer, volatile, boom 3. Pistol, range 3. Frag grenades, range 3, grenade, frag 3. Smoke grenades, range 3, frag... I'll start again. Smoke grenades, range 3, grenade, smoke. Stun grenades, range 3, grenade, stun. And toxic grenade, range 3, grenade, toxic, 3, smoke. He's not bad. I really want to get to use him. I've not used Mercenary Faction yet, but I really want to use him because he just seems a lot of fun. Your problem is when he dies, he'll blow up. Any of the grenades are not one use. You can use them multiple times. So if you shoot, I don't know, a frag grenade, use a shoot dice to throw another frag grenade if you want. He's not bad, but unfortunately I can see he's going to be one that's going to be overlooked a lot. Next we have the Chuvar Psychic, 24 points, 3 victory points. Move 1-2, armour 0, size 3. Shoot of 5, no fight value, but surviving on 6s. Psychic, energy shield 2. Mindstorm, range 4 psychic blast. Blank, range 4 psychic stun. And Passion, range 4 psychic invigorate. This is one you want to use if you want to use multiple models. So if someone's activated, you could use the invigorate to allow them to activate again later in the game. Later in the round, should I say. The Chovar Psychic is not a living legend, so you can take multiples of them and you can give them items if you want. They are pretty naff in fighting though, but they do have the energy shields and the size 3, so they probably will survive a bit longer than you think. So Kirby next, 16 points, 2 victory points. Move 2-3, arm 1, size 1. Shoot of 5, fight of 6, survive of 5. Construct, agile, engineer, hacker. Laser, range 5, knockback. Electrical discharge, range F, knockback. Kirby is only really useful if you are playing them games that take the consoles where you can score objectives. Other than that, I really can't see any point of taking Kirby. Freya, 26 points, 3 victory points. Move 1-2, armor 0, size 1. Shoot of 4, fight of 5, survive of 4. Engineer, frenzy 1, hacker, tough. So she's got 2 versions of the kill switch pistol. Range 4 AP1, weight fire 1. And she's also got the range 3 AP1 it burns version. And she's also got a forge hammer, which is range F AP1. Freya's not bad. She's a little short range, but you've either got the weight fire 1 and range 4, or you've got range 3 and it burns. You've got a choice. She, I think, is right on the points cost. She's not bad. She's best used on objective with consoles, well, terminals, consoles, whatever you want to call them. But that's her best use. But she's not bad if you want to take her for normal games. Hacker Halftail, 26 points, 3 victory points. Move 2-3, armor 0, size 1. Shoot of 5, fight of 6, survive of 3. Hacker, Engineer, Dismantle, Tactician 1. Ray Pistol, range 3. Det Packs, Maglocked, range F AP 2. Det Packs, Prox, Fuse, range 2, Blast. He's one that's used in objectives with terminals / consoles. He's the best one, I think, because he survives on 3s. Yes, Freya has got tough, but surviving on 3s, you probably will survive more, I feel. You've also got the blasty boomy sort of effects with him, and he's fairly quick. So you've kind of got the speed of Kirby, but with survivability of Freya. So pick you what you want. Next we have the Hellfather. 32 points, 3 victory points. Move 1-2, armor 2, size 1. Shoot of 5, fight of 6, survive of 4. Life support. Xerxes Cannon, range 6, AP 3, heavy, it burns. Hellstone Pistol, range 4, rapid fire, weight fire 1. He is going to be painful against things like GCPS, Plague, I feel, and the Nameless. In fact, against Nameless, I think he's really going to hurt them. If you know you're going to play Nameless, he's one you really want to take. Yes, he's going to be really crap in close combat because he's fighting on 6s, and because he's got a heavy weapon, he's losing dice when either surviving or fighting in close combat. But he's got a Hellstorm Pistol, which means you can move about and do a bit of shooting before you get where you want with the Xerxes Cannon. But the Xerxes Cannon has more range, so when you get there, it's going to be burning everything because it's range 6 and AP 3. That's even going to affect Striders and Iron Ancestors a lot. Kaizai Uro, 28 points, 3 victory points. Move 1-2, armor 0, size 1. Shoot of 5, fight of 7, survive of 5. Psychic Medic. Psychic Smash, range 3, Psychic Smash. Blank, range 4, Psychic Stun. Passion, range 4, Psychic Invigorate. This one is a Psychic that it's kind of like the Chovar Psychic, except smaller. Is also a medic. The Chovar Psychic is slightly cheaper, actually, and slightly more durable. If you want a more durable medic, take Kira Noveliski. If you want an offensive medic, take Elise. If you want a medic that can support more, take Kazai. You've got options. If he ever gets into close combat, just leave him to die, because fighting on 7s, surviving on 5s, no armour, nah. Next we have, yes, there is quite a few more. Crom, or KR-OM3. 24 points, 3 victory points. Move 1-2, armour 1, size 1. Shoot of 4, fight of 6, survive of 6. Construct and glide for some reason. Yep, don't know why. Because I'll just show you the picture of the model. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, that's it. How can he glide? Plasma cannons, range 6, AP 1, weight 5 2, and he's got a defender shield. He's not bad. I can see him being used for the defender shield purposes of giving one extra armour. Combo him with Blaine means that Blaine's armour 4, which is ridiculous. And seeing as Blaine's only size 2, why not put someone with medic in there so he's got resilience 1? Anyway, next, moving on, Kirkalila. 20 points, 2 victory points. Move of 1-2, armour 1, size 2. Shoot of 5, fight of 5, survive of 4. Teleport, tough, hacker, engineer. Carbine, range 4, and energy shield 1. Again, one of those that's good for taking objectives where you've got terminals and whatnot. He's probably the best one because he's the most durable. He can teleport, he survives on 4s, he's tough. He's size 2, he's armor 1, and he's got an energy shield for crying out loud. Shooting in close combat is just very average. Next we have Lishma, 22 points, 2 victory points. Mover 1-2, armor 1, size 1. Shoot of 6, fight of 4, survive of 5. Teleport, stealthy, tenacious. Claws, range F, AP 1, frenzy 1. If you want someone who's cheap and fairly decent at close combat, take Lishma. The teleport is really gonna annoy people. If you've encountered Teratons, you know how annoying it is. Nastanza, 32 points, 3 victory points. Mover 1-2, armor 0, size 1. Shoot of 3, fight of 6, survive of 5. Stealthy, evade. Sniper scope, range 14, AP 1, heavy sniper scope. And an 1 energy shield. She is a really good sniper. What more there is to say? Get her in position and start shooting. If you get her in close combat, she is going to die. There is no maybes about it. She is going to die. So if you are going to someone that's really fast and good in close combat, maybe not take it, or get her in a building really quickly. Otherwise, against most forces, she is really, really good. Organ Helkier, 24 points, 2 victory points. Mover 1-2, arm 1, size 1. Shoot 5, fight 5, survive 4. Engineer and hacker. Burst pistol, range 3, rapid fire. Force field, range 2, grenade, shield generator 1, which means everyone in the same cube gets an energy shield. Energy shield 2. He's a good support option for taking objectives with terminals, or if you want a support option to give you energy shields. You know, he's not bad. I think he's right on the points cost, to be honest. Ogre Terminator, which is not a living legend, so you can take multiples of them. 30 points, 3 victory points. Mover 1-2, arm 1, size 3. Shoot of 5, fight of 6, survive of 4. Resilient 1 and solid. Minigun, range 6, weight of fire 2 and suppression. Shank bayonet, range F, AP 1, knockback. The Ogre Terminator's alright. I feel it would be expensive, but considering what else is in there, I think he's right on the points cost. Solid, arm 1, size 3, surviving on 4s. He's got suppression, so I think he's not too bad. Orion, 24 points, 2 victory points. Mover 1-2, armor 2, size 1. Shoot of 4, fight of 6, survive of 4. Construct. Ghost Blaster, range 6, AP 1, hollow sight, so always shooting on 4s. I think he's pretty cheap, to be honest. Armor 2, survive of 4, construct, so he can't get pinned. He's got an AP 1, 4 die, shooting on 4s, ranged weapon. He's pretty good. He's just really good. Otasora, 28 points, 3 victory points. Mover 1-2, armor 2, size 2. Shoot of 5, fight of 5, survive of 4. All solid, honourable. Honourable means if someone wants to run away from fighting Otasora, then Otasora lets them off for free. No fighting them back, no free strike, nothing. Iron Cannon, range 6, weight to fire 1 and weight fire 1 and AP 2. Body Slam, range F, knockback. Otasora is not bad. He's durable. He can't get pinned. He can't get thrown off. Well, he can get thrown off the building. Depends on how you do, I suppose. He's got a good range weapon. Close combat is average. He's probably going to get overlooked, but he's size 2 and armor 2. That's nothing to be sniffed at. Next is Sergeant Eric Umasar, 27 points, 2 victory points. Mover 1-2, armor 1, size 1. Shoot of 4, fight of 5, survive of 4. Resilient 1. Onslaught Cannon, range 5, weight of fire 1, suppression, and rocket salvo, range 8, indirect 3, 1 use. I like him, and in this faction where suppression's a bit limited, depends on how you use it, he's fairly good. He's fairly cheap for his points cost and victory point cost. Only 2 victory points. You could set someone up for pinning with the rocket salvo, and then someone that's good at close combat running in there and tearing them to shreds. Other than that, you use them to suppress close combat. Nah. But pair him with someone to get the best out of him, I would. Shade, 22 points, 2 victory points. Move 1-2, arm 1, size 1. Shoot of 5, survive of 4, fight of 4. Stealthy and frenzy 1. Wrist blade, range F, AP 1. Pistol, range 3, and he has a med pack for some reason. He's a cheap close combat specialist, but that's all he is. There's better ones out there. I mean, Lelishma is the same points cost, but teleports, has a bit more frenzy. He is harder to shake off if they want to run away from her. I'd pick Lelishma, to be honest, over him anytime. The Survivor then. 24 points, 2 victory points. Move 1-2, arm 1, size 1. Shoot and fight of 5, survive of 3. Tough, frenzy 1, weight far 1. Short, sawn off, range 2, knockback. Pistol, range 3. He might seem useless on first glance, but the thing with him is putting him on objective, not the terminal ones, normal objectives. He's got tough and survives on 3s. That is going to make a big difference. His shooting's fairly average. Well, it's not that great considering it's just either range 2 or range 3. But you've got 1 reroll and you can reroll close combat, but you're always surviving. Come on. Lastly, we have Wrath. 32 points, 3 victory points. Move 1-2, arm 1, size 1. Shoot of 5, fight of 3, survive of 3. Tough, frenzy 1. Praetorian pistol, range 3, AP 1, it burns. Blade of the 7, range F, AP 1. Wrath is just ridiculous. Take everything I said about Otosaur apart from the companion bit and what I said about the survivor putting on objectives, and you've got Wrath. Wrath is just ridiculous. Yes, he's not as fast as what's his name? Oh, Sohin, not Otosaur. He's not as fast, but he's got better survive. He's tough. He's got frenzy 2. He's got a range 3. It burns weapon, so he can burn people and then slash them to pieces. I think he's right on his points cost. Some people could argue he's a bit cheap. Maybe you're right. I'd always take Wraith. Wraith is just amazing. So next we have the Tier 3 mercenaries. On page 39, starting with the Brocker. 14 points, 1 victory point. Move of 1-2, armor 0, size 1. Shoot of 5, fight and survive of 4, frenzy 1. It has a burst pistol, range 3, rapid fire, and has a 4 jammer, range F, AP 1. Weapon options, small arms, light, brackets, melee. Just keep it as is. The thing about the Brocker is, if you want the really good stuff, it's not the best option. It's a good model, and the stats are fairly decent, but to get all the best specialists, nah. Next we have the Commando. 12 points, 1 victory point. Move 1-2, armor 0, size 1. Shoot 5-5, survive 4. Rifle, range 6, rapid fire. Weapon options, small arms, light, brackets, melee. Again, it's kind of like the Brocker, where the stats aren't bad, but if you want the best stuff from the specialists, don't bother. X-Corp Lab Technician, 6 points, 1 victory point. Move 1-2, armor 0, size 1. Shoot of 6, fight of 5, survive of 6. Shock Baton, range F, knockback. Weapon option, small arms, light, brackets, melee. Maybe give him a rifle if you really want, but this is one of the options I'd take if you want a lot of the specialist stuff, because they are cheap. You are essentially paying a zombie tax, but these are slightly better. X-Corp Marine, 8 points, 1 victory point. Move of 1-2, armor 0, size 1. Shoot of 5, fight of 6, survive of 5. Laser rifle, range 6, rapid fire. Weapon option, small arms. Again, another solid option to take for a tier 3 mercenary. The tier 3s you basically take as your troops. So you take as many of these as possible if you want a lot of specialists, which, come on, you do. The X-Corp Marine is the other one I'd take. Either the Lab Technician or the X-Corp Marine, because they are under 10 points, so you can still have a lot of good specialists in there. Lastly, we have the... oh, sorry, there's more. Next we have the X-Corp Veteran. 11 points, 1 victory point. Move 1-2, arm 1, size 1. Fight, shoot and survive of 5. Laser Carbine, range 6, rapid fire, weight fire 1. Weapon options, small arms, light, brackets, all. This is where you can have the special weapons like Gatling Frontiersman, flamethrowers, thermal rifles, grenade launchers, marksman rifles, laser carbines, and heavy laser rifles if you really want. That being said though, unless you want to go down that route and get the special weapons, don't bother because they are a bit expensive and the stats are a bit naff. Next is the Kalishi. 15 points, 2 victory points. Move 2-3, armor 1, armor 0, size 1. Shoot of 5, fight of 3, survive of 5. Energy bow, range 4. Glaive, range F, AP 1, frenzy 1. Weapon options, small arms, light, brackets, melee. Maybe give a rifle if you really want, but you want them as cheap as possible. I was thinking there's no point taking these, cost 15 points. You're not going to get as many of the specialist stuff as you may think. But you find on 3s and your move is 2-3, which means if you have a lot of close combat specialists, they are going to be a problem for your opponent. Just be careful that they are very squishy and very expensive. Rebel Trooper, 7 points, 1 victory point. Move 1-2, armor 0, size 1. Shoot of 5, fight of 6, survive of 6. Rifle, range 6, rapid fire. Weapon option, small arms. Again, like the X-Corp Lab Technician and the X-Corp Marine, these are a good option. The thing about the Rebel Trooper is it's slightly worse survive. That's why it's less points than the X-Corp Marine. I'd either take these... well, either's a good choice, to be honest. Any of these, Reb Trooper, Lab Technician or Marine, any of them's really good to get the stuff out. Lastly is the Rebel Yindich. 12 points, 1 victory point. Move 1-2, armor 0, size 1. Shoot and fight of 5, survive of 6. Agile and scout. Rifle, rapid fire, range 6. Weapon options, small arms. Maybe take these, but I would honestly go for the Rebel Commando over these because at least they survive on 4s rather than 6s. So next we have the weapons and items on page 41. Pistol, which doesn't take up a default weapon. 1 point, range 3, rapid laser rifle. 2 points, range 6, rapid fire. Shotgun, 1 point, range 2, knockback. Gatling, 340, frontiersman. 4 points, range 4, weight fire 1, rapid fire. Flamethrower, 4 points, range 2, volatile it burns. Thermal rifle, 7 points, 1 victory point, range 3, AP 2. Grenade launcher, 8 points, 1 victory point, range 5, indirect 3. Laser carbine, 4 points, range 6, weight fire 1, rapid fire. Marksman rifle, 8 points, 1 victory point, range 8, hollow sight. Combat blades, 5 points, range F, frenzy 1. Energy gauntlet, 5 points, range F, knockback. Officer sword, 5 points, range F, AP 1. Heavy laser rifle, 6 points, 1 victory point, range 10, AP 1 heavy. The items then. Ammo is 2 points, AP ammo is 4 points, comlink is 4 points, energy shields 2 is 5 points, energy shields 3 is 7 points, frag grenades, get my teeth in, is 6 points, medpack is 4 points, monowheel scout bike, so you can have a lot of these, is 5 points, sentry gun is 8 points, smoke grenade is 3 points, stun grenade is 4 points, thermal mines 4 points, and trip mine is 8 points. The mercenaries are an amazing faction. The thing is though, you aren't going to have that many of them. Yes, if you take the X-Corp Lab Technician, the X-Corp Marine, or the Rebel Trooper, mix them how you want, you are going to stay cheap to take a fair few specialists. However, it depends what sort of leader you have. Any of the tier 1/2s aren't bad as leaders, apart from Hector Sanchez. I'd never take him in a million years in any case. Sergeant Uluk has speed, but so does Son Hin, and is better all round, I'd say. I'm always going to go for Blaine's Peacekeeper armor. He is expensive, there's no doubt about that, and when he dies you are going to feel it. But armor 3, size 2, tough, surviving on force. There are so many combinations on play styles, it's unreal. And unless it's tier 3, you can take one of these as mercenaries in other lists. The biggest downsides of this list is they are a bit naff at suppression, and they are expensive, and they can be a lot of money to buy. Why? Because most of them are from Star Saga. Now, Nastanza you can buy separately. The Ogre Terminator you can buy separately. All 3 versions of Blaine you can buy separately. Boomer, the Chovar Psychic. Well, okay, there's a fair few that's not Star Saga, but a lot of the good ones are Star Saga. You can't buy Wraith anymore. You cannot buy Son Hin separately. You can't buy, let me see another one. You can't buy Eric Umasar separately. Any of the tier 3s you can, because they're just normal people from Deadzone. I really want to try the mercenaries out. If you can get most of them, if you've got like Star Saga or the mercenaries already, and some of the other models like some people to be Rebel Troopers or corporate Marines or Lab Technicians, you're kind of on the way to have one of the best forces. I can see these not being legal in tournaments, although I have seen one tournament where they are legal, funnily enough. Yeah, I think they're really overpowered. But they are a really good starting force because of all the good stuff they've got. So, that's it for this video. Goodbye for now.